3, 2, 1.
That's good.
Nice. You guys were in sync for me.
That's pretty good.
Beautiful.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
I've always been more of a Backstreet Boys guy myself.
Good stuff.
Okay.
Good stuff.
I mean, Jay, it looks like your hoodie is moldy.
it is. I haven't washed it in 3 years.
3
Growing
years.
some nice
Yeah.
fungus.
Fungus.
Nothing like fungus.
Nothing like it.
Yeah, give it a
Speaking of
munch.
fungus.
Speaking of
It could be
fungus.
psychoactive.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Patreon? How you guys doing?
How you doing? How are you?
How you doing,
How you
Il
going?
Patreon?
I'm so sick of asking them how they're doing. They never fucking tell me.
Nah.
And I haven't heard a response.
It's rude.
It's like a very one-sided
Yeah, it's like-
conversation. I don't know what the fuck.
Who
they're
are we
doing.
even talking to, really, here? Yeah.
Damn, Fitz is eating strawberries on the pre-show.
Having a strawberry
hella
on the
romantic.
pre-show. Damn.
Serena's like,
Oh, shit.
Did your camera just run out of battery, Matt?
No, I accidentally
Okay,
clicked
good.
something on my phone.
Oh, I can't imagine.
Okay.
Is it
Oh,
charged?
yeah.
Is it charged this time?
If it
man?
fucks up
It's
again.
good. Here,
It's all good.
I'm going through my drafts on tweets again, okay? Here, I'm going to post something for you guys. Don't read it out. Just read it to yourself, okay?
Okay.
It's
Okay.
gonna be
What
are
really
you do-
entertaining
I-
for Patreon.
Hmm.
I'm currently trying to decipher it.
Tweet it. Tweet it. Go for it.
Oh, you
What could go
reckon,
wrong?
you reckon nothing will go wrong if I tweet that?
Yeah,
What?
dude, go for it.
What-
I mean, nothing will go wrong.
Can you
I
define
don't quite
systematic?
understand it. Yeah.
Shit, I don't know.
I don't actually think it makes sense.
Yeah,
but
'cause
it's,
You should just tweet like random words.
Okay, I'll do that
It's
too.
like monkey on a typewriter.
I just come up with those at like fucking 12 in the after or 12 in the morning when I'm just tired as.
Yeah.
I'll just write it down in my
Define-
notes real quick.
I've been having
Systematic.
tweet block, dude. I've been having bad writer's block for tweets. Normally I
Yeah.
smoke
Yeah,
weed and just say
same.
like we pimp chimping and get like 20K likes, but it's just a
Why don't
lot
you keep
harder
doing
now.
that?
Matt, that tweet makes no sense.
What do you mean?
Systematic, it says acting according to a fixed plan or system.
Yeah, systematic racism is like, the racism that's ingrained in society, So it's
Yeah,
like,
that's
All
what I
right.
was like,
Well,
oh, I hate
now
that. I
that
just
we're
misunderstood
picking
it.
apart and explaining this tweet,
But it has
Patreon's
nothing
a little bit
to-
out of the
Wait.
loop.
we have to tell them what it is.
Yeah, the draft of this tweet is, I hate
no.
systematic racism in today's society, full stop. I miss the days where you could say shit to people's faces.
Now
Unless
this is a
these-
draft. This is a draft.
Unless these are two
Yeah.
separate sentences that are unrelated.
Yeah.
In which
No,
case,
no,
then,
no,
yeah,
that's
it makes
the
sense.
Joke. That's just the joke. It's like, oh, I hate systematic racism, and it's just the blatant, oh, I miss the racism, where you can just say it to people's faces.
Maybe
Okay, but-
microaggressions.
But you can do
Yeah, but-
systematic racism to people's faces.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
No, it's just blatant racism.
My-
That's the
what's-
joke. It's just blatant racism to their face,
Right.
not like
I do
systematic
see, like-
society racism.
I see where you're coming
I
from.
do see the train of thought, but I think that
Oh,
it just
there it is.
like
I'm
a
a
joke
micro
needs to be
racist.
self-explanatory, right? Like a joke needs to be like you read it and you're like, oh, I get it immediately. Like this, you kind of feel like you need to like be like, well, I can kind of see where it's coming from, like, which immediately takes away the comedy because then you're just thinking about how much sense it makes,
Bro, I'm writing these
Instead of,
things when
oh,
I'm like
funny.
sleep deprived. I'm not really thinking
Hey,
about
man,
them, to
it's
be
a
honest.
draft.
I got heaps
Oh
of
well, I mean, you're
I got
the one who
heaps
shared it with us wanting
Holy shit, he's got a
wanting
fucking essay.
criticism.
Let's go.
We're just
That was just an edgy one I thought of real quick. I was like, oh, I'm probably not going to tweet that, but
It could work with a little bit more tweaking. Give it a bit more math.
more tweaking, less tweeting.
More
what I said.
tweaking.
More tweeting.
That's what I've been
less
doing.
tweaking.
Yeah,
What,
he's been
tweaking?
Off
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Just whatever I
On
can
what?
get my hands on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Glue mostly.
Drinking glue.
Mostly
Petrol.
glue and
Yeah, I don't even
hormones.
huff it. I drink it.
I put it on a nice steak.
A nice viscous glue.
WD-40.
I use it as a dipping sauce.
Have you guys seen Too Mad? I drank like half a bottle of glow-in-the-dark Elmer's glue.
what the
No.
fuck?
It was
Sounds
fucking
retarded.
incredible. It was
Is it
it
edible
almost
like,
made-
or non-toxic?
I guess he didn't die.
What the fuck?
What
Yeah.
the fuck is wrong with him?
Dude, did you see his tweet where he was like, does anyone have any suggestions on how to defrost a frozen Gatorade? And then the video was him taking this bottle of frozen Gatorade out of the dryer. put it
That's
in-
pretty
he
funny.
put it in
That's
the
pretty
dryer.
funny. That's pretty funny.
So good.
Too bad, dude.
Yeah, dude, that guy's fucking hilarious.
The dryer. Wait, the dryer could be used for so many more things.
I love
Yeah.
the tweet he was saying about the glow in the dark glue. He's like, It has little salts in it, so it's low-key a little crunchy. What the fuck?
Oh, yuck.
Ew.
Delicious.
He
fucking
sent me
foul.
an apology recently over DMs. He said that he feels bad for memeing me earlier in the year and that he got carried away and that he's sorry. And I said, don't ever apologize for joking around again. And he just goes, let's go! Full caps.
Yeah. Two Man has a tendency to like go pretty far with his memes, but I don't know. He's a really nice guy. Like when the
Yeah, he's a
character
lovely
is
bloke.
gone, he's like a pretty chill dude.
Yeah, I wish I got to hang out with him properly when he was here.
Dude, I had him over my house. I had Two Man as a house guest. They're fucking wild.
Yeah, that was like before last Christmas, right?
Yeah, it was before he
Yeah,
left
man, 'cause you were
Australia,
filming-
ran back to
He was
Canada.
yeah, he helped you film that YouTube's ad, right?
Yeah, he
Oh,
was.
yeah.
Wait, I forgot he was Black Santa. Kush Kringle. He was Kush Kringle.
That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah, I just needed someone to say the N word. Then I wrote into the script, and I was
I
like,
could have. I could have done it right. Like, why didn't?
yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Well,
like, who can I
YouTubers are
call
allowed
who can give me this pass? And Two Man was in town, living with anything for views. I was like, oh, I'll ring him up. And then he comes over. He's like, hey man, thanks for like thinking about me to like come and help. And I go, here's the script. And then he looks at the script. He goes, oh, you just wanted me to say the N word, huh?
It's
I was
just
like,
one
yep.
word. it's just like a 4-page script, and it's just one word on it.
Yeah, it's just a one word. I just need you for this part. It was good though, man.
rest
We
of-
like hung out, ripped a couple of bongs. I got him really stoned. Started picking his brain. He's an interesting person.
Nice.
Very cool. Very cool.
Very neat.
That is very neat.
Burrito, hey? That's what they say, right?
It
Absolutely.
is.
Absolutely.
Absolutely,
Fucking
cunt.
really.
Fucking earth, bro. Fucking love
Fucking
it.
on
cunt.
you, mate.
Fucking love it, bro.
Oh, how you going, mate? Swagger looks like he's going to rob a bank.
Oh, don't tempt me.
Just because, normally
No.
it's just the balaclava, but now you've also got the
Yeah.
beanie and the hoodie. And
Dude,
it's,
the beanie's sick.
It's very
the be-
hidden.
I like the beanie on top of the chainmail. It makes me feel better about my head. I only show my eyes, but I still get self-conscious when I see myself on camera. It's so
That
so
is-
dumb.
Yeah.
Just
So
don't look
fucking
at your
retarded.
eyebrows, or-
Yeah, I can't
Right.
lie to you.
I don't
that
know,
is
dude.
dumb.
It's fucking stupid. It's like the little bit that I do show, I'm like self-conscious of. So I wax my eyebrows and
You're always worried about your
exfoliate.
T-zone.
I do all the thing,
Yeah.
You just exfoliate in that like one area.
yeah. The rest is just
It's
like
just-
craters.
yeah.
It's like the
You've
surface
just got
of
like
the
an
moon.
oval-shaped eye
It's
face
like
mask.
fucking perfect. I take my helmet off. I look like Darth Vader, except for this.
Yeah, believe it or not, he's even more pale on
perfectly
the rest of his
preserved.
face.
Dude, my fucking helmet's getting rusty again. I'm gonna have to buy like 3 more fucking liters of white wine vinegar. Just give it a scrub.
Didn't you
White
just
wine
clean it?
vinegar.
Nah, last time I cleaned it was like 3 or 4 months ago.
How often does this
Damn,
thing
that
need
shit
cleaned?
rusting.
What the fuck?
Rust will build up on it. I've been pretty bad recently, so I haven't been oiling it like every other week like I should. You just rub a little bit of olive oil on it and it stops it from rusting.
That's so Italian.
Yeah, dude. It's vinegar and olive oil. My helmet smells like a salad most of the time. It's either salad or weed.
Smells like a nice
It
rigatoni.
sounds like-
Nice rigatoni. Hey, Tony, some spicy pepperoni.
Pizza helmet.
Pizza helmet. Yeah. I was thinking about doing a tweet for
Okay.
Halloween where I take that spare helmet I have and I draw like a pumpkin on it with acrylic. And then I go like, oh, I painted my face for Halloween. And I'm just like wearing the helmet and there's like fucking pumpkin on it.
It's a good idea. I like that.
Yeah, I was thinking it'd be good.
That's funny.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
should definitely just make a pumpkin helmet.
Just
Carve
buy
it
a
out.
pumpkin and just carve it in. Just fucking, yeah,
On
it
your
could
head.
work.
That's gonna be
I
awkward.
need a
if you
big
bump
ass
into,
pumpkin.
Like,
I got a big ass head.
that's gonna be awkward if you bump into Wellen at like a Halloween party and he's got the same
I'd be
costume
like,
as you.
Oh, dude, I don't know, dude. I think he'd fucking go like,
He
whoa.
might try harvest you.
That's sick.
Whoa, pumpkin head.
He's got like the whole pumpkin.
Whoa,
tattoo
man,
back
that's so
on.
cool.
So I was walking down into
I can't do a Wellen impression.
into my Halloween party. And all of a sudden,
Yeah, it was Halloween, October 31st, the scariest day of the year.
There I was on my Rust server.
his videos are
All of a
so
sudden-
good, man. His videos
So
are
good, dude. His narratives are amazing.
Yeah.
He's a real poet. I stand well.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, mate.
All right. That's enough dick sucking for the pre-show.
Just
Oh,
a
I
little
was just getting
more.
started.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
Yeah, just getting this review.
Patreon, thank you very much.
All the
All right.
reviews are 1 star, so Fitz is struggling.
Oh, I have to scroll so far these days. It's crazy.
Monk
I
of
found one that's
S.
just an obvious lie, so I'm going to read that one.
Uh-oh.
Patreon, today we are going to be talking about a couple experiences that have been had recently. We're going to talk about mushrooms, magic mushrooms specifically. I tripped solo 2 days ago and had a very interesting experience. And also Swagger and I, which is unbeknownst to anyone else here currently, we tripped as well. We had a little, I guess it was like a test trip.
Yeah,
a
it was
couple
like
weeks
2
ago where we
grams. It
took-
was only like 2 grams of shrooms. It was about 2 weeks ago, right? Week and a half.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
a couple weekends ago. Just was like, fuck it. Like I've been wanting to do shrooms, particularly on my own. But I what I'm doing with Swagger first, just to I guess dip my toes in.
Yeah,
So we'll
because
talk.
I've done it before, so I kind of know the ballpark of what it's like, and also
Yeah.
if you're gonna do it for the first time, you kind of want to be with another person. We also had a trip sitter, a very very close friend of
Yeah.
mine. I came there
Yeah.
and watched us, which was nice. But yeah,
Well, we'll talk about it more on the show, but that's what we're in for today. Of course, I mean, if anyone else has anything they want to
It's
talk about,
classic,
we can
mate.
too,
It
Here's
Misfits
some-
content.
yeah,
Woo!
but-
Drugs!
So, I mean,
lockdown
I don't
and
wanna-
drugs.
Drugs.
yeah, I don't want to take up the whole show just talking about my experience, but if you guys have questions or whatever, or anything you want to talk about too, obviously bring that shit up because
No, thank you.
that would be poggers.
Yeah, that's okay.
It's okay.
All right,
All right.
okay, fuck it, let's get into it.
Let's go. Thank you, Patreon, for.
Fucking
Sticking
money.
around, doing your thing.
Yeah.
Oh, and if
And
any of
stuff.
you guys were there for the Q&A the other day,
Big
it
ups.
was really nice talking to you guys.
Let's
Really
go.
nice
Big
time
ups.
chatting
Thank
to a
you
bunch
for
of
those
the patrons in the
questions.
Discord server.
There were some really
Yeah,
good questions.
Yup, that was indeed poggers. Okay.
That was an S tier Poggers moment.
S tier, eh? Jeez, that's high tier, Jay.
Yeah.
You think so?
I was thinking A tier, but no, that's S tier.
Hi.
S minus, maybe.
cheer.
All right.
Ready to go.
Hello. Are we now, Jay?
Yes.
Are we ready to go?
Yep. Yeah.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure.
G'day. Welcome back to the Misfits podcast, rated 5 stars on iTunes by Connor193657119. He says, "You guys are the best podcast hosts ever, and you are all incredible YouTubers." Connor, I love it when
What?
you lie to us in the
What the
iTunes
fuck?
reviews.
Yeah.
That's-
Yeah, what
Yeah,
was
that
that?
was
incredible.
too wholesome.
God, I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Sounds fake.
It was actually nice.
So wholesome,
I don't
but
think
obviously
Connor exists.
so incredibly untrue. I'm pretty sure that half of these reviews are just Manager Ryan trying to just make us feel better.
It is bots. Oh, hello.
Oh no! Wait,
Whoa.
Oh,
What the?
whoa!
It's a glitch in the
They have
system.
All just
Discord.
did we
Yeah.
glitch out?
Oh
We
my
good?
god.
All right.
What the fuck?
Off to a good start. I'm joined today by my glitchy co-hosts, Jay, aka McCreamy.
What's going on? Hi.
Matt's here too.
Oi, oi.
Oi, Toby's here.
Hi.
Hi, and SwaggerSouls himself.
We pimp
is here as well.
chimping. How are you?
Pimp Jimpin'.
Pimpin'.
It's another week here in Melbourne. As you guys know, we've been going through a pretty tremendous lockdown situation due to COVID-19. Times have been boring. There hasn't been a lot of content, but today we have a couple stories for you revolving around some magic mushrooms that may have been eaten recently, both between
Whoa.
myself and SwaggerSouls here.
Psilocybin.
So yeah,
Oh my god.
psilocybin. And yeah, had some fun little experiences. So I guess we'll kind of tell the story of how
Yeah.
shit happened. Starting with
We should
Tripping and
probably,
Swagger had it.
we should probably start with a
Yeah.
preface as well, similar to what we did with acid, just so our bases are covered and we're not liable for any little retard that's like, I want to take magic mushrooms, and then they eat too much, and then think they're a glass of orange juice. So I guess I guess we could just kind of talk about. So we had magic mushrooms in total. I think it was about. Was it something like a quarter ounce? So 7 grams, 8 grams?
I bought like 7 grams came through. And yeah, I was like the Swagger, yo, let's fucking eat some.
How much is that? Like, if you were to hold it in your hand,
Yeah.
how much is that?
It was.
It's
it
like a
was-
handful. Like cupped
yeah,
hands,
it
it
was
would be just
pretty-
like, it was dry shrooms.
Yeah,
just
it's
kinda
dried.
Like,
No
Oh,
water
okay,
weight.
yeah. Okay.
cap stems and like little shroom dust as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, 7 grams is
Yeah.
way too much to have on your own.
Yeah, that's a
Uh,
heroic dose. I wouldn't recommend 7 grams to anyone unless they're really
Yeah.
experienced. But even then, I don't even think I would recommend 7 grams.
Okay, if that's a heroic
yeah.
dose, what would a legendary dose be?
Probably like 12 or 15.
Do people do that much? They
Yeah,
must. They
well,
must
I'm
be
sure
people just
there's
fill
some
it
fucking
up.
hippie out in New Mexico just chowing down on shrooms every day. So, you know,
Crazy.
just like
yeah.
there's fucking people out there that'll eat an entire sheet of acid.
How much is a sheet?
Yeah,
What
Some
the
That's
fuck?
fucking morons. They're like,
How much
dude,
is
there's
a
people
sheet?
that do things. A sheet is like
A
fucking,
sheet?
like, fuck, dude. I'm not even sure. I guess
It's
you
like
could Google
12
it.
by 12 tabs or something like that. Like, I don't even know how many.
It'd be ridiculous. It'd be like a
I know
ridiculous,
someone that had a sheet
ridiculous
once.
amount.
How do you
They
not
had
just
a
like
sheet.
die after that? What the fuck?
In Auckland, there's a bus that just drives around and it's free. It's
Yeah.
because it has such a short route.
Mhm.
And I knew someone who took a sheet of them and just sat on that bus for like 24 hours.
Holy
And they
shit.
just
My
sat there
God.
watching as they were going on this really short cycle.
Wow.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
sounds honestly terrible, but maybe it was fun for them. Who
Maybe it
knows?
was awesome. Maybe you're on enough acid. I guess you just yeah, anything is an adventure.
Yeah.
You
but
have to
I
be careful
guess-
with psychedelics because they can just
Yeah.
completely knock you on your ass. And like, honestly, you can have some really bad times if you,
Yeah,
if
you
do
could-
too much
you
or if
could
you do
put
it when you're in a
yourself-
bad place.
You could put yourself in
Yeah.
a psychosis very easily if you don't know what you're doing. You know,
Yeah.
like obviously
It's all
for the
about-
basis of all trips, because it's very similar to how LSD works. Basically, you eat mushrooms, and then there's psilocybin, which is the psychoactive ingredient, and it's broken down in your stomach into a chemical known as psilocin. And then that goes into your brain, and that fires your serotonin receptors, et cetera, et cetera. I'm
Yes,
paraphrasing
yes.
here because the science is a
But,
lot more
yeah.
complicated. But it works essentially the same way that LSD does, in that it gives you an insane serotonin rush. So you'll see, waving, warping of walls, like moving stuff,
Connections in your brain just firing, you're just
Yeah.
fucking so much happening. And so, yeah, sound changes, visuals change, like you see crazy shapes.
Yeah.
and It's wild, basically. It's fucking completely.
It could be
batshit, so-
very, very insane. Now, again,
So, yeah.
I don't recommend you take any psychedelics until like you're well into your 20s. Your brain's still developing. Try not to fuck it up, kids. Just stick to underage drinking. Like, come on.
It's terrible advice.
Well, they're gonna do something.
I'm
At least
kidding,
fucking,
I'm
at least
kidding.
drink a beer, right? Drink
Yeah.
some Mike's Hard Lemonade. Stay the fuck away from acid and shrooms until like you're in college. Would it make sense, right?
Yeah, I'd recommend kind of like having a good understanding of yourself, and also just
Yeah.
making sure that if you are going to partake, that you start with a little, not a lot.
Yeah, it's
and that you
very small.
Pay very
amount.
close. Yeah, that you pay very close attention to set and setting and the people you're
Yeah.
with, because that obviously like completely changes everything.
Yeah.
Like your experience really will vary based on the
Yeah,
environment
so
you're in. And
set
your
and
And have a
setting
trip sitter.
is have a trip sitter
sitter helps,
especially. With set and setting, it's important that there's your set, which is your mindset. So is it a good idea to take acid after I aced my tests and passed and I got into college and
Yes, right.
like things are looking up for me? Like, sure. But is it a good idea to take acid if my entire family died in a car crash a week ago? No.
Yes.
Like
Oh.
it's not.
Probably
It's
not.
not. Like obviously
I mean,
your
yeah,
mindset like really matters. And definitely like will play a huge factor in whatever psychedelic trip you go on. And then there's the setting. Are you taking this? Are you going out camping and then chowing down on shrooms at like 11 p.m. in the middle of the woods? Probably not a good idea.
Monkey
Without a trip sitter.
But
Like,
also,
probably not a good
also
idea.
like it depends. Like obviously, if you're a first time, but like I think like if you have experience with them and you know yourself well, you can have still beneficial trips even when you're going through maybe a difficult time, or if you are in I guess it just varies. But I think it's very much
Yeah.
just about knowing yourself, knowing like what you're getting yourself into, and if it's your first time fucking with psychedelics, just start small. Like you might as well just have a little bit, see how you feel. Like so you don't get overwhelmed and have like a PTSD inducing experience.
Yeah, it's better. Yeah. It's better to have your trip be underwhelming than overwhelming, like 100% of the time. So I mean that's the basic advice. There's really make sure you don't take anything serotonergic like acid or shrooms if you're on SSRIs, like antidepressants, that kind of thing, because then you can get serotonin syndrome and die, and that is
wait,
really
what's
good.
that?
Fuck, dude.
Is that just like you don't have any more?
It's like literally overdosing on serotonin.
Yeah,
pretty much.
What the fuck?
It does some fuck shit to your brain. I'm not exactly sure the science of it, but that's from what I'm aware. If you're on SSRIs, which is serotonin something inhibitors,
selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors.
Right. Yeah. So if you're on those, you definitely want to make sure you're not fucking with acid or shrooms, just for your own safety. Do research. Be proactive about it. But what we're about to tell you isn't an endorsement, and it's definitely not a call to action for any of you guys to go out and eat some magic mushrooms. Right. This is just our experience. We thought it was interesting. We thought we'd share it, and I guess that's enough of the preface.
Warning. Yeah. These are trained professionals.
So I mean, anyway, me and Swagger, like, I was like to Swagger, well, how much do you think we should do? Swagger recommended, just
like
just over 2 grams each, of these dried mushrooms. We like waited for a sunny day and then head over to Swagger's house with the mushrooms. Very excited, very like interested, a little nervous because I hadn't done a psychedelic since we tripped acid, like
same
a year
here.
and a half ago. I mean, almost 2 years. Is it more than 2 years ago now? I'm like,
it'd be 2.5 years now.
Holy shit! So it's kind of wild that we haven't actually dabbled in anything else since then. But yeah, I was very excited. We go over. It's around 1 p.m. in the afternoon. Beautiful day. We measure up the shrooms. Yeah, which is a little iffy. The scale was kind of a little iffy, but
it was a bit weird.
To a place where
we probably took over 2 grams, just a bit from.
I think it was like probably between 2 and 2.2. I actually looked up on a calculator. You can look up like a shroom dosage calculator, and
it goes off
your height and your body weight,
your BMI.
And it recommends like what dose you should take. My recommended dose was actually 2.8. But I was like, look, like I'll do what you're doing. We'll do 2.2, whatever it is, and we'll see how we go. So we order a pizza and we sprinkle the shrooms on the pizza.
Cheers.
Oh, what
mushroom
the fuck?
Pizza.
And
mushroom
pizza. Because the shrooms taste, they're gross, dude.
Yeah, mushrooms are,
it's
just
good.
like, it's shit crackers, right? It's like saltines that have been like put in cow shit, essentially. It doesn't taste really good. So what you do is you get a pizza, you sprinkle it in a slice, you fold the slice in half like a calzone, you eat it. It tastes
so
good,
funny.
And,
That's so
and it
funny.
digests with the pizza, and then you're good.
So we eat them. It's a pretty bearable meal. Slice of pizza covered in mushrooms, and I remember just sitting on the couch with our trip sitter, and waiting. It's that waiting feeling of we've just eaten a substance that's gonna take us on a little ride here. What's going to happen? I remember like feeling really excited, a little bit nervous. And it started kicking in pretty quick, huh? Like,
you get
pretty quick,
like 20, 30 minutes, you feel this tightness. You feel a tightness in your gut, like right in your stomach, this like excited butterfly, very tight feeling. What? And then it starts moving up your body, and like you start feeling yourself like entering this psychedelic headspace. With the thing with shrooms, like with acid, you take acid and then the excitement turns into like this delirium where like, you have this energy, like you can't stop clenching, you're shaking, you're like, you're bzz, 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 and just going.
I would compare it like acid to it, almost to MDMA, like in a way, for that euphoric, like high intensity, like rush of a come up. It was crazy. But shrooms was kind of different though.
Shrooms was a lot like
light.
You get that pit in your stomach. It's moving through your body, and then you feel really drunk. You start feeling really drunk, like very disoriented, very dizzy.
And like giggly too. Like I feel really quite giggly. Yeah. Just laughing at things, just like, oh, here we go. Like, kind of just feeling silly. And yeah, you actually had a rough come up, didn't you?
Oh, I had a very
Swagger.
rough come up. One thing that happens a lot with shrooms, very common, a common symptom, is that you'll get very dizzy and it might upset your stomach. So what happens when
yikes.
you're dizzy and your stomach gets upset? You have to throw up. And so,
but you wouldn't want to,
I was feeling really sick. Probably a good 45 minutes to an hour into this like come up. And I was like, and I remember being on the couch and Fitz was like, oh, what do you want to do? And I was like, I'm going to munt. And so he was like, oh, okay. The trip sitter was like, oh, all right, you're right. And I was like, no, I'm fine. Like, I just got to go to the bathroom and throw up. So I went to the bathroom and I'm throwing up in the toilet and I'm spinning and I'm fucking going, I'm closing my eyes and I'm seeing shit and I'm like fucking, oh shit. And I am throwing up for like a solid 15 minutes. And I'm throwing up to the point where like I'm throwing up nothing. Like my body is just lurching. I got stuck in this cycle of like I need to throw up. Like I'm still dizzy. I still feel bad. My body, because the body's natural reaction to like eating a mushroom and then feeling weird and like disoriented is to throw it up because the body thinks it's poison. And so
when you take ayahuasca, right? Don't they just like puke for an hour?
Oh,
pretty
they
much?
puke
like
for ages. Yeah, it's like quote unquote purging.
Does puking get rid of the mushrooms like effects at all?
Well, I no. Well, the thing is, I threw up a really decent amount of the shrooms. I maybe threw up probably a gram, so I probably threw up like half the take. But the thing is, like a lot of it was already digested, and there was already psilocin going in. There was still some in my stomach. And I was getting to a point where I'm just over the toilet and I'm just tripping balls. My eyes are closed, like I'm throwing up. I see these patterns, these fucking like, it was crazy. It was basically like a bunch of waves, like strings that were like going like a waveform, and they were all stacked on top of each other, and then they were twisting into knots. And then along these strings was like this pulsating checkered like glow, like these lights that were just kind of sprinkling across, and it just kept warping and twisting and going in and then fading out and then going really close and then going out and then fucking twisting and unwinding, and it was very intense, which just made me want to throw up more. And it got
the
to
entire
the point,
time that's
hey, go ahead.
the entire time that Swagger's in the bathroom throwing up, I'm obviously on my come up as well.
Yeah.
And I was weirdly undistressed by the situation because I'm just in Swagger's home, like on his couch. We put on these visuals on the TV of like basically a like 4K forest walkthrough where it's like a steady cam just going on this beautiful nature walk, and I'm kind of just like looking at this and listening to like psychedelic rock and just enjoying some music, and in the background all I hear is and I'm like tripping dick myself, so I'm kind of thinking like, oh no, is that going to be me? Am I going to throw up? And I was like, whatever happens. I remember just feeling at peace with whatever was going to come my way. I've already eaten them.
That's crazy.
I was feeling giggly and drunk. I was like walking around and like looking outside like, whoa, like, and kind of like looking at the trip sitter, while Swagger's puking, we can just hear the noises, and I'm just like, like, it's pretty funny. Like, it's just kind of like laughing.
I heard
laughing
them
at Swagger's
laughing
pain.
in the room, and I'm tripping, and I'm hearing them laugh, and I'm like, well, I guess somebody's like, at least taking some joy out of this suffering. So like that made me feel actually a little bit better. I
remember feeling like quite worried and like empathetic towards you, and that's when I kind of started checking on you and sitting down on the floor next to you while you were
and
there.
The trip sitter, you guys came by. The trip sitter actually poured a glass of milk because I told her basically one thing to note is that I don't know whether or not this is really grounded in fact or if this is just an urban legend that I heard and then believed and then tried. But basically, say somebody is on a lot of shrooms and they're freaking the fuck out. They took way too much and they're freaking out on their come up and they want it to end. You just get a glass of whole milk and you have them drink it. And apparently, I think it's like the lactic acid or something in the milk will neutralize the psilocybin so that it isn't processed into psilocin so that you don't get any more high. And then at that point, your come down like starts. Like that's the peak, that's the cutoff. So then it's just slow roll down. So she got me milk, and I was like,
milk.
That's exactly what that's from. Because there was a guy who was tripping on shrooms, and the girl
yeah.
was like, "He needs some milk. He needs some milk."
Oh shit! What the
Yeah,
fuck?
so apparently
needs some milk.
that's where that comes from. I don't know if that's entirely true. There's a chance it could be wrong. I'm sure anyone can just fucking fact check it. But
Worth a shot, though.
it was
man.
worth
Like,
a shot. And
drink the
either
milk.
way,
Why
like
not?
in my mind, I figured, well, it might work. And so I don't know if it was the placebo they call me down, or if it actually worked. But I drank it, and I was just kind of stable for like a good 10, 15 minutes. And like I remember getting up out of the bathroom, flushing the toilet, walking into the living room. Cam, the trip sitter there, they look at me and they go, "Okay, well, what do you want to do?" And then I just looked at them and I go, "Oh, yeah, I'm going to munt." I just went right back into the bathroom and I fucking threw up again. I threw up for like
Sounds
another
awesome.
10, 15 minutes. And then Cam
yeah.
walks into this room. We actually, before we started tripping, I picked him up and we took his amazing, like this giant keyboard that he has, the synthesizer, and his speaker setup, and we brought it into one of my rooms and we set it up in anticipation for the trip, so we can like fuck around with all the sounds while we're
Make
like
noise.
gagging.
That's so funny.
And
Yeah.
so, Cam is in the other room as I'm puking, and he's playing music. He's playing like a little ditty for me, and and I'm just like, I have nothing left to puke. Like I'm just sitting there, very dizzy, like closing my eyes, crazy visuals. Like I feel like I can't move, and then I'm having a hard time focusing on anything, and it was getting to a point where like my thoughts were getting very intrusive, like to the point where I would have a thought that was like, "This was a mistake. Like, I shouldn't have taken these shrooms. This is horrible. This isn't good." And it was a lot of negativity. And I was like, okay, well, I need to nip that in the bud, because, like, nothing good comes from, like, having stupid
Spiraling.
anxiety and
Yeah.
spiraling.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah.
I started, like, countermeasuring it. Like, okay, well, regardless of whether or not it was a good idea, it doesn't matter. Like, all I know is that I'm in it, and that in an hour I'm going to feel like $1 million and I'll be fine. And so I was just, wrestling with these thoughts and just like looking everywhere and looking really fucking out of it. And the trip sitter goes like, "Oh, do you hear the music? Listen to the music." And I started listening to Cam play the piano, and it fucking snapped me out of it. I just started
Wow.
focusing
I
on the
didn't even know
piano
That's
and
so
all the
cool.
music, and it was impacting my visuals when my eyes were
Yeah.
closed. And then I was just like at a moment of peace. And then I finally, for the last time, crawled out of the bathroom and stopped throwing up. And then the trip
Yeah.
continued.
And then I remember you're walking out.
I need
and
a
I was
month.
like, "How are you feeling?" And you're like, "I feel good." And you're like, kind of like, "I feel great." And then it was like a weight had been lifted, not only on you but on me, because I
Yeah.
was starting to like really get worried that my entire trip you would be like in pain, and I would, I wasn't feeling like so much of the intensity I think that you were.
It was
Probably
rough.
because I probably just because like it might have been a small dose for my like size. I have no idea.
You had eaten
but it
earlier
was still
that
intense,
day, didn't
like-
you? You had eaten breakfast.
Yeah, I
right?
had eaten earlier that day.
Yeah,
too.
I hadn't eaten
Yeah.
anything until the shrooms.
Yeah,
So I
that's
think
your-
that's
yeah.
probably
Just
it.
bad idea. But yeah, then you were kind of good, and then it
I was
just kinda
great.
like-
I felt like $1 million.
yeah,
I was
Yeah, and
happy. I
then
was
we were just
giggly. I was
enjoying the
in it.
music. We had you had like a blanket wrapped around you. Like textures looked so interesting. Like this, I kept looking at this like, blanket with slots on it you had
Yeah.
had wrapped around you, and
My
your
grandma
couch, like,
my
everything.
grandma gave me that blanket. She thought the sloths were monkeys. Just kind of sweet.
That's funny.
All the fabrics looked just amazing. Like everything was kind of breathing and warping, and like shrooms gives everything this kind of organic feel where everything looks like, I don't know, like something more natural, like wavy, leafy.
It looks like it's
wrinkly.
alive.
It looks like it's alive. The TV, which had this 4K,
That was fucking
nature walk,
crazy.
looks like exactly how you see it in
Like simulation.
what's it, the Google
Like
Google
Deep
Dream AI or whatever
Yeah,
it's
the
called.
Deep Dream AI. You know where like it turns
Like the leaves are
images
purple.
into
And you
dogs?
see,
Yeah. Is that actually
Yeah.
what happens?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Like not
Or,
just for dogs.
But
Like-
yeah.
yeah, the MGMT When You Die music video actually really portrays it well as well, and just in that kind of
Yes.
like rainbow effect where everything looks like colors are so saturated. You're very interested in like light sources in particular. I remember Swagger has this like kitchen with a window with a like slit in it, which has kind of got this like natural sunlight flooding through and like kind of like put a glow on the countertop. And I just kept walking over to that and being really
Kept going
interested
over
in it.
and,
Like,
putting
wow.
his hand on the counter, and then he'd look
that's so
over at me,
funny.
he'd turn his head, he'd go like this, he'd go, dude,
You seen this shit?
are you seeing this? This light right here? This is fucking crazy. And I'm like, yeah, dude, it's so
Yeah.
cool. And then we go over and I'd like smack the counter.
And then
Yeah.
We sat out on the grass for a bit.
Yeah,
in
in
the
my
sunshine.
backyard. We lied down on the
little
grass for
lawn.
like a solid 10 minutes. It's kind of
Holy
hung out.
shit.
Yeah,
We just
yeah, and
we
there was this
chatted.
guy mowing the lawns or whacking the weeds next door. It had this really
Yeah.
like mechanical sound, which was kind of scary. And then we were like, okay, let's go back inside.
Did you go into
what
VR at all?
else?
Oh no, we
Didn't even
didn't
go into
We
VR.
didn't go into
No,
VR.
we didn't. Fuck.
We were a little
we
bit
should've done that,
distracted.
Yeah,
we
fair.
we
were just like children.
Yeah,
Like,
dude, we were making our own fun, dude. We were sitting in like my smoke area, the house by the backyard, and then like we stand up and like we started like competing in vertical leaps. So like I would try to jump as high as I could, and he would try to jump as high as he could. And like we
Shit.
kept trying to
We look
see
so
like
stupid.
how high we could jump, and that became like a running gag the entire trip. We would
Yeah.
just do like these
the trip
vertical
sitter
leaps.
took some sneaky videos of us, and one of the things that she captured was like just me and Swagger in the backyard. Swagger randomly just goes, "Yo, double high five me!" And he just puts both his hands like this, and then we go this, and like we hit one hand, but the other one misses, and we just look so goofy and silly.
Oh
It's
my
like
god, I
hilarious.
want to see that
Yeah,
so
it was pretty
bad.
good. It was a lot of. It was a really decent trip because after like I had
it
the
was
milk,
calm.
like I guess I was on a come down, or
Yeah.
like I had passed my peak, or whatever. But the come down was really pleasant. We had a ton of fruit. We'd ordered a ton. I ordered
so
a ton
good.
of fruit in like anticipation because I know that whenever I'm on shrooms or like acid or anything, I don't want anything salty or dry. Like I don't want anything that's savory or meaty. Because like when you're on something like that, especially shrooms, like my taste, my sense of taste was really strong. I was still tasting
Yeah,
like
and-
vomit and milk in my mouth for like a solid
Ew.
hour, and it was just really unpleasant. So I decided like, all right, well, let's break out the fruit. So we cut up some watermelon. We had strawberries. We had raspberries. We had an assortment of fruit, and I remember
which just
like
tasted so amazing.
just nibbling. Like I have a raspberry and like I take a little bite out of it. I had like 1/8 of a raspberry and like taste it, and it would be so fucking strong. And I just be like, holy shit, I can't even finish this. And I put it down. An eighth of
the
a fucking
fuck?
raspberry.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it's
so
just
funny.
kind of overwhelming. What else do we do? I mean, music was amazing. We sort of just walked around looking at like you just become captivated by those strangest
Everything.
things. Like there was just like Swagger's like it's these gray curtains, like completely uninteresting when you're sober. But when I was on shrooms, I was like, wow, that's so incredible. Like looking in like a blank corner of the room, and it's like, holy shit, that shit is moving and like warping and breathing. Like just looking at he's got this dish scrubber which looks almost like a mushroom in itself. It has a
He
suction
kept
cup
fucking
on the
playing with it.
end.
He kept like attaching it to the
Just,
side
like,
of my
sticking it to the
counter.
wall and like going with it.
That's funny
And
as
yeah,
fuck.
we just sort of had this nice time. We played the keyboard together, where like
That was
me and
awesome.
Swagger have this system where if you only play on the black keys of the keyboard, then kind of you can make anything sound musical. Like it's because it's all as one scale. It all kind of sounds good together. So like I would go on the bass and then he would do a melody, or would switch around, and it's a good synthesizer. So you can just scan through like
Yeah.
a million effects that just sound weird and like buzzy and cool. So that was really fun. And yeah, and then like towards, you know, the when we were fully on the come down, still getting like visuals, still definitely high, we decided to go for a walk.
Yeah. Walk around a
stepped-
park.
Yeah. Stepped into the outside and, you know, went for a stroll, and yeah, we found this park. and
Yeah, I
started
was very
walking
hyped
through
to do it. I was like, oh my
Adventure.
God, a walk on shrooms. Like, this is going to be epic. And then I realized, like, oh, we have to wear fucking masks. And that kind of put a bummer on me.
Yeah.
Because, like,
Yeah,
I
but
was like, this
it's
is
probably
fucking
for the
annoying.
best, because when we were walking through the park, really enjoying the scenery, it was
It was a beautiful
evening.
day. It was a nice park. There was a
Yeah.
bunch of people out. There was like families sitting down,
Children playing,
on
yeah.
like towels, having picnics. Kids were playing on the playground. There were a couple of kids playing footy, like just chucking a footy around. And so we're walking like right through the park, and like we're walking. We're almost at like the end of the trail, ready to chuck a Yui and go around the outer and then leave. And this guy who has a football in his hand, he looks up and then he looks at Cam and he goes, "Fitz?" Is that Fitz?
No.
And then and Fitz turns his head.
I'm
and
like
goes,
wearing this like colorful like shroomy shirt and like a bucket hat. I'm like, I obviously stand out like a sore thumb, and next to me he's like so clearly SwaggerSouls wearing his merch.
I'm wearing this
He's like,
this
Fitz,
shit.
Oh, monkey.
Oh, Fitz, is that
Yeah,
you?
I
And I'm
mean-
like immediately, oh no, I hope Swagger doesn't start freaking out because like his face and everything. But you were wearing.
I
a
was
mask,
wearing a
so I kinda
mask,
just
so
turned-
like, I mean,
Yeah.
it makes me more recognizable if whatever. But either
Yeah.
way, I mean, I wasn't too concerned because the guy had a football in his hands, and like I was like, well, there's no cause for concern if like he doesn't have his phone out and he's not fucking taking a picture. So I was just like,
Yeah,
all right,
so-
well, I'm just not going to talk. I'm just going to look at him, and then
And I just turned to him and I'm just like, hey mate, yeah, we're actually on shrooms right now, so we're just gonna keep walking. He's like, oh, okay. Love you guys podcast.
yeah, he's like, hey, I love your podcast.
So-
but Cam says that like pretty loud. He like kind of like yells it over to him.
Oh
And
my
to our-
god! Did
to
I?
our right
I didn't
is
even
a-
know I said it loud.
To our right is a family, a fucking family sitting on
No
sitting on a
way!
towel. And so,
It's funny as
yeah,
fuck.
like as
didn't even know I said it
turned,
loud.
like I put my hood up in case he did want to sneak a picture or whatever. But as we were leaving, he said like, "Hey Toby, like cool to see like you're back in Australia or something like that." Like he called me Toby. He thought I was Toby. I think it's because I have blonde hair right now and it's really long.
Maybe.
So I guess he thought I was Toby. So
Interesting. I didn't even hear that.
yeah,
But
I
yeah, the walk in the
kinda-
park was lovely, man. Like it
was a
just
beautiful
so nice,
walk.
like looking at flowers and leaves and kind of touching things as we walked. And
Yeah, we
You're a
would
comic,
walk
really,
like 10 steps and then we'd be like, yo, look at that fucking tree. And then we'd just stop in our tracks and like look at it. And then we'd be like, oh man, it's a
Yeah.
nice tree. And then we'd just walk another 10
nice
steps and be like, oh dude, check this out. Like look at this plant.
yeah,
And we'd look at the plant. And we'd, it was repeat until we went back home.
yeah, yeah.
Holy
and then we went back
shit.
home, and by this point, like we were well on the come down, I think.
Yeah.
And, yeah. We
watched
cooked.
the
We
troop-
made a hella
Yeah.
fresh meal.
We
Which is fun, although we couldn't eat too much of
beef
it.
bowl, right?
Yeah.
What
Which
the
we had
fuck?
like I think 4 spoonfuls of each, and
Yeah,
they were
dude, we
this
had
tastes
like
a
3 or
little like
4
mush.
bites each, and then we were like, nah, this is too much.
Yeah, but it was really fun cooking. Like we were so clearly just like still fucked. Like
Yeah,
how do I
fucked
chop
up.
a carrot again? And yeah, then we watched the Truman Show. We
Truman
smoked a little
Show,
bit of weed,
yeah.
just a bit, and then we watched the Truman Show, which was nice. It was a fun little watching Jim Carrey.
What does
That's an
smoking
interesting
weed do on
movie to
shrooms?
watch high.
That's what I thought. It was definitely like a lot slower than I remember it, but Jim
I
Carrey is
loved
such
it.
a joy to watch.
I'd never seen it,
Yeah, and,
so
Yeah.
this was
Yeah,
really
Swagger hadn't seen
this
it,
was
so-
really good.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
a
it
fucking
was
pretty
fun.
awesome movie. But
Yeah, then we just kind of chilled and watched content. We watched a few Adult Swim on the airs, some other trippy shit, and by that point it was getting late and
Yeah, it was like 1
It
a.m.
was over, I guess.
So I drove home extremely high.
You kinda
Drove
moved
home.
on.
It looked like the Rainbow Road.
But yeah, to answer your question,
yeah.
Jay, about like weed on shrooms, we had it pretty well into our come down. So I didn't really notice anything too like crazy, and we were very conservative with the
Yeah.
amount that we were smoking too.
Right.
yeah,
But I
Yeah,
know
just
if I
really
had
re-up or anything.
like ripped a bong on my peak, it would have made everything so much more intense. And I'm glad I didn't do that.
Yeah.
Fuck. Fuck
Yeah.
that.
Because mixing
just played it pretty
weed and
safe and-
psychedelics is a risky play. Usually it's only on the come down if you want to prolong your trip or like bring visuals or whatever back. Then you could try that. But for
Yeah.
me personally, I was kind of like already overwhelmed towards the start of the trip, and it wasn't even really that bad. So I didn't want to make it worse than that. So I was being
I mean,
very careful.
I had like 2 whole bongs and I was fine.
Yeah,
so-
yeah. It didn't really matter. We were already like
But
8 hours
we were-
into our trip by that point. So it wasn't that
Yeah.
it wasn't really that
Right,
you know,
right.
that much of a difference. But if we had done it like towards the middle or like right after the peak, it would probably put us back up on the peak.
Wait, so it lasts like 8 hours.
It's 6 to 8 hours.
like 6. Yeah, 6 to
Fuck.
8. Probably more
That's
like 6.
ages.
It's an ordeal. Acid
Well,
is 8 to 12.
Acid's like 12. Yeah.
Oh my
When we took
God.
acid, we were up all night. I was up until like 6 in the morning. Yeah.
Jesus.
You know, it was wild.
So yeah, you kind of got to allocate the day, and then you kind of got to allocate the day after to relax. Because at the end of the day, our bodies felt so exhausted and like
I
tired.
can imagine, yeah.
Like
Felt like I was
you just
beaten with a
been, like,
bat.
through the ringer. Yeah, a little bit like you just been in like a fight or something. And the next day too, it was just like super achy, but also kind of like very chill, at peace.
I was
reflective.
mentally refreshed
Like-
the next day.
Yeah, me
Like,
too.
I actually got
me
work
too.
done.
Yeah,
shit.
I didn't feel like I really got anything like meaningful out of the
Neither.
trip in terms of like growth, but
Neither
we
did
weren't
I.
really going into it for that purpose. We were just
No.
like, hey, let's just fucking like have a day, see what happens, right? And we
Yeah.
had a good day. It was awesome. It was such a fun time. Yeah,
Sounds
and
crack up.
go, leaving. I mean, do you have any other questions about the thing? Because I obviously bought 7 grams, which means that I still had 3, maybe just over 3 grams left over.
Shit.
And I had a solo trip all on my own a couple days ago. So I can dive into that story as well. But do we have any questions about the trip or anything else anyone wants to bring up? I don't know.
Surely a
Sounds like it
question.
was funny.
I just feel bad that we're talking the whole time. Like,
Oh,
I'm just-
did it
yeah,
make you
I'm
very
very interesting.
introspective?
yeah, I mean, we definitely had some shroomy conversations
Yeah.
about like the world and about, I don't know. But it's
We
very
talked
much just,
about
like,
30-year-olds. They still live with their parents while we were at the park. Do you remember that? Like how sad it would
don't
be to be
remember
like 35 years old and like still live with their mom, and like their mom picks up all
Yeah.
their clothes.
yeah. And
Yeah.
we just talked. Yeah, we talked about a bunch of things, but I don't really remember too many of our conversations.
That was the only one I remember.
I kind of just dismissed them as like, yeah, we're on shrooms. Like, this is shroom talk right now. But it's so fun. It's so fun, like contemplating the world and life and what actually matters. And really, it kind of gives you just a sense of, I guess, calmness. Like, you're not really too worried about existential dread when you're on shrooms. You're just kind of in the moment, at least for me, which is just a really pleasant thing to undergo. So you're kind of like thoughtful, but you're not anxious. It's nice.
Interesting.
Shit.
Because often
Yeah.
when you think about like existential ideas, you kind of get anxious because you're thinking about things much bigger than yourself. But on shrooms, it kind of just felt like you were at one with something bigger than yourself. So that was cool.
Okay.
But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, anyway, a couple weeks pass, and I'm like, okay, I was waiting for a nice sunny day. I've been wanting to have a solo trip, and I definitely wanted to take more this time because I think that my recommended dose was probably more accurate, like 2.8 grams for my size. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna do
And
everything.
your
I have
body
left.
also develops a tolerance, right?
Yeah, but the
After the
tolerance
first Yeah, but
usually
after 2
goes
weeks, like,
away
it's-
a week and a half later.
Okay.
They
Okay.
say about a week
So-
and a half to 2 weeks it takes for your body to
Mhm.
kind of reset the serotonin so that you could fire it again. But if you took a tab of acid and like the next day you wanted to do it again, you would have to take about 2 tabs of acid to get the same trip. And then the next day you'd have to take 4. So it's very, very, very
Yeah.
limiting, and it's very taxing on your body. So
Ooh,
I wouldn't.
I would not even want to.
Yeah,
like, the day
I
after,
I
right?
couldn't
Like,
imagine like taking acid the day after I took acid. Like I couldn't imagine taking shrooms
Fuck
the day
that,
after I took
bro.
shrooms. Like the nature of
Yeah.
psychedelics means that they're like just the way that they work. It's very self-limiting. I mean, like I can't fucking drink like 2 cases of beer and a bottle of wine and get trashed and then wake up the next day and be like, yeah, I'll have more. Because I'm fucking destroyed. Like the thought of drinking
why would you
make
want
me
to?
sick.
Like, yeah. So yeah, I mean, one and a half, 2 weeks was like more than enough to reset me.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, look, I'm gonna do this. I've definitely been wanting to trip solo. And I wanted to take enough where I really fucking felt it this time. So I did what I had left, which I believe was like 3, maybe 3.2 at the max grams of these dried shrooms. I should have ordered a pizza, but it was like first thing in the morning. I took them around I say first thing in the morning, it's more like 12 p.m. But I just recently woken up, so I didn't want to
Yeah.
order a pizza. So I ordered like a ham and cheese toasty and sprinkled them in that.
Oh,
There were
nice.
so many shrooms that like there was a lot of like quite a lot like surface area on this ham and cheese toasty. And so I'm trying to eat this and it's so disgusting. It tasted so bad. And I'm like drinking water to try and get it down and it just turned into mush and I'm like chewing,
Oh,
like,
what
okay,
the
just get it
fuck?
down, just
Off
get it
to a good
down.
start.
It probably took me like 20 to 30 minutes just to eat all of them because of how like
Oh.
painful it was. And I was kind of getting worried, like, what if it starts kicking in before
Yeah,
I finish
yeah,
this fucking thing? So
It takes
but-
that long.
anyway, I also kind of prepared my house a little bit. I cleaned up beforehand. I made sure I had some fruit out on the bench. I had plenty of water. I didn't have a trip sitter, which maybe was a bad idea. But I also kind of like I know myself pretty well, and I'm kind of a person that I like being introspective. I like thinking things through. I like kind of confronting myself. So I kind of wanted to have that without any interference, or
Yeah.
I didn't want to have to worry about what a sober person might think of me while I'm fucking on shrooms.
Right.
So I decided to do it alone. And let me just say,
Dude.
I had the most amazing day. It was incredible.
Good.
That's awesome.
Well, I
shrooms,
recall
I'm
before
listening
you
to music.
started, you sent me a Snapchat of you like this, like, waving into the camera going, just took the rest of my shrooms, Godspeed. And I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, he's alone in his house. And I figured like, oh, well, if he actually needs anything, like, he'll just hit me up and ask me to come over.
That's why I let you know. Yeah,
was
I
all
let a
good.
few people know like that I was just doing it just so they were aware. People kind of like near me. But yeah. So I eat these shrooms, I'm listening to my music, and all of a sudden I start feeling it. It's that same butterfly feeling, that same like kind of rush of like probably like serotonin or whatever it is, just like coming over you. And music got really intense. Obviously, I took more this time, so I was experiencing much more intensity. I was actually worried I was going to throw up like Swagger because I'd eaten like so many of these things, is because they tasted so bad and they weren't sitting quite right in my stomach. But I didn't throw up. What I did do was look at my rug. I have the silver shaggy rug, which looked like organs. Like it looked like squiggly worms, but not in a gross way, in a beautiful way, like beautiful silver organic looking worms that were
Interesting.
moving and wriggling. My couch was so comfortable and soft, and the music was just hitting. I was listening to like Pink Floyd and just a bunch of like great psychedelic rock. And I had this big subwoofer, and it was rattling my house. I cranked it up. I had the door open. The sunshine was leaking through, and I was honestly overwhelmed. I felt like drunk and stupefied. I was kind of sitting like a drunk on my floor, my arms rested on my couch, just thinking like, holy shit, this is crazy. This was kind of like the intense rush of the come up. And then I realized that this intensity had sort of passed, and I wasn't so knocked on my ass anymore, and I could actually stand up and dance and like do whatever I wanted. And I realized, oh, I'm on shrooms. Now all that's left to do is enjoy the day. So I went up to like my roof for a bit, and I laid out in the sun listening to music with my headphones, and that was crazy, just feeling the warmth of the sun on my skin. I went downstairs and I had a boogie in my living room listening to all the music that I like. And then I just start laughing. And this is something that I didn't really get too much on shrooms with you, Swag. We didn't really get in like a laughter loop. I was completely alone, laughing like an absolute fucking maniac for probably an hour
Like the Joker.
on my rug. Couldn't stop laughing. Like something was just so funny to me, and I kept like saying things like, nothing's ever the same. Nothing's ever the same after this. Like just random things like that. Like I remember just like rolling around and like tears streaming down my face from laughter, and snot filling my nose because like of, I don't know, just like the tears. And I'm kind of like blowing my nose and throwing the tissues around my house. Like I don't give a fuck. Like whatever. I walk into my office and I see like a funny photo that a friend saw me of this monkey, and I'm like looking at this monkey and laughing to myself like, that's so funny. I've been laughing at this picture for so long. Like I also see that Jay's open on my Discord and it's like maybe a video, and I'm like, bro, I'm tripping right now. This is crazy. Like I was like running around like a lunatic on my own, just like, what the fuck is going on? Nothing's ever the same. Touching things, like eating fruit. I ate this nectarine, and not to get sexual with it, but I practically like made love to this nectarine. I was just like literally like, I was like enjoying it. Like the pit in my mouth is like lying on the ground. Like I was just an animal. Like didn't obviously have to worry about what anyone thought of me. So I was just free to enjoy sensations however I pleased. I remember looking in the mirror and like my hair looked crazy, like almost like rainbow tinted, and my eyes were like
What the
saucers, and
fuck?
I was like looking at myself. It was like, who
That's
is
so
this cunt? Like what's
sick.
going on? Listening to music, like it didn't freak me out. I was just completely. It was euphoria almost. It was actually much more comparable to the first time, or the only time that we did acid, where you're just running around like a maniac, feeling like so much time has passed, feeling like so much has happened, but in reality, you're probably just rolling around on a rug, like laughing to yourself. So the come up was wonderful. Like I had a really, really wonderful time. Sunshine, music, fruit, just enjoying my company. I played guitar for a bit. I played piano, which was really like, I just felt like I could just play anything that sounded amazing. It probably sounded like shit, but but to me it was like, man, this is so good. Like I can't believe I'm just coming up with these melodies. And then what happened? I guess I peaked at some point. Like it was really just this euphoric feeling for a while, doing various things, and then I realized that I'm really like, I guess, cresting the peak, and this is when like it kind of gets interesting because I remember just feeling like, okay, I want to be up in the sun again. It's around maybe 3-4, I think it's like 4 p.m. So the sun, I'm going to lose the sunshine soon, and I want to make the most of it. So I go up onto my little couch upstairs on the deck with my guitar and with this blanket. Audio listeners won't be able to see it, but it's like a rainbow,
Oh shit!
really
Yeah.
like finely stitched blanket, which just looked like you could imagine looking at this thing like how crazy this would look on shrooms. It was just the fabric is so intricate and intertwined, and the colors were beautiful, and it was moving and waving. And I took, for some reason, like this was just something sentimental to me, so I took it up there with me along with my guitar, and I kind of sat in the sun. And this is when like there's this overwhelming sense of, I wouldn't even say overwhelming because it doesn't really, it kind of contradicts, but it was just, I felt at peace. You know, I felt like a sense of calm and peace. And I was sitting in the sunshine with my eyes closed, and I was on my guitar playing just like these 2 chords over and over again, just like doing like.
What? That's so sick.
Just these 2 chords. And then I would start like humming like you know, just like saying like random lyrics that came to my head, and I was just like in the sunshine, and I was like completely like just enjoying this moment. Just I don't even know how long I was there for. And then I remember lying down on the couch, still holding my guitar and playing it, and looking at the blanket on my side, the sun just on my face, and it felt like it honestly felt like a mother's embrace. It felt like the world had just kind of was holding me and cradling me. And I was just completely at peace. But at the same time, I was aware that the moment was fleeting and that the sun was going down, and that pretty soon I was going to have to return to the real world, and I was going to have to go back to normal. But I was like, you know, that kind of feeling of the moment fleeting almost ruined it. But then it was, you just bring yourself back into what you're enjoying, and you realize that that's inevitable, and that's the ebb and flow of life, and the give and take, and like nothing's ever perfect forever. And I kind of made peace with that idea.
Wow. And
I just enjoyed it while it lasted, just playing those same 2 chords and humming and like singing like little lyrics to myself, feeling just like I was being cradled by the universe, feeling at one with everything, which is so cliche, but it's really how I felt. And then the sun finally went down behind my little fence, and it was no longer on my skin, and I kind of sat up, and there was no more music. There was just birds chirping, and I look at the blanket, and it's not as colorful as it used to be. And I look at the sky, and it's not as bright as it used to be. And it was kind of, it was sad, but it also wasn't sad. It was like sad, but I also knew it was necessary. And I remember standing up and kind of looking at Melbourne, and just thinking like, holy shit, that was insane. Like, it was incredible. So exhausted at this point. The colors weren't as saturated. Things were fading. I was coming down. And then I entered this really like introspective headspace where I went back inside and I walked around my house, and nothing was as colorful as it was a couple hours ago.
Wow.
And I was looking at the same things that I was really fascinated by, and they were kind of more bland now.
You're
and
seeing
more,
all
like,
the tissues, all the used tissues littered over your floor.
Yeah. And I remember sitting on my couch, and there was no more like real light in my living room. It was actually quite dark. And I just sat there and I actually cried for like 20 to 30 minutes, not even for anything in particular, I guess just like mourning this experience I'd gone through, and also feeling like quite alone and by myself.
Yeah.
I cried for a while, but it wasn't like unpleasant, if that makes sense. It was more just like
Cathartic, right?
Oh, here I am, like, yeah, cathartic, and like, here's me returning to my body, here's me returning to my life, the way that things have always been, you know, the person that I've always been, you know, I've made my life what it is today. All the mistakes I've made, you know, there in the past, I've made mistakes, you know, all of the success that I've had, like, that's fine too. Everything just was as it was. And it was sort of, I guess, just making peace with what you're left with, which is like, oh, here's my life. It's a little bit in pieces, but there's also things that I'm grateful for and things that are great. And that's okay. And then I found a photo of me and my parents, and I remember holding that along with a big fucking glass bottle of water, which I was just drinking from the neck of. And I walked around and I sat in various places of my home and just kind of like thought about my life, thought about the people in my life, thought about like where I was, who I wanted to be. And just had this wonderful time just sitting almost in silence, just thinking and just looking at things and drinking water and recovering and reflecting. I looked at myself in the mirror a lot and kind of like thought about that. I obviously came to quite a few revelations on this, which I'm not going to share because
Right.
that
Yeah.
sort of thing is personal.
course.
But it was
Personal.
like deeply, deeply meaningful. And then I put on my headphones and I played this like ambient mix that my brother showed me last Christmas. We sat in person together by a stream and listened to this mix, which starts off with this beautiful poem, very ambient. I put that on
Wow.
to remind me of my brother and my family. And I went back up to the deck, and the sun is just setting now. So like it's just setting. It's
Holy
still light.
fuck.
There's birds flying through the sky. The sky looked like, you know those marbles which are kind of clouded with like white wisps?
Yeah.
The clouds looked like white and wispy and like very, very beautiful. And I was just listening to this mix and drinking from my bottle of water.
Right.
And I wasn't drinking like liquor. And just being like, just letting the sunset wash over me. And that was just insane. That was crazy. I think before this as well, I actually smoked a bong, which I smoked a bong. I think I almost didn't even think about it. It was just something that I just decided to do, which I'm glad that I did because it really made the sunset incredible. And then I didn't smoke any more that night. I didn't even feel like I needed to. I could actually feel like my body getting exhausted and a headache coming on. And normally when I feel like a headache, I might smoke to self-medicate myself. But for this time, I just wanted that sobriety and I wanted to sit with the emptiness that I felt. And I just kind of sat with it and chilled. And yeah, then I played some Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, which by the way, great game to play on a shroom come down. Holy
yeah.
shit, just a gorgeous, beautiful, like nature-filled game.
Didn't
I watched Princess Mononoke.
Didn't some of you guys
Also a
play
great film
that
to watch.
on the moon cakes and space cakes?
Oh,
and,
no. Yeah, I
No, they
got
had the
that.
truffles,
on,
right?
Yeah, it was the truffles. I took truffles with Sam, and then I unboxed my Switch in our hotel room, and I fucking played it for like a good
Yeah.
2 hours while I was on these truffles, which are pretty much the same
Yeah.
as shrooms. But I had, I did not have like nearly enough to constitute a trip.
Right.
It was a microdose.
Yeah,
it was
it's
still fun.
It's a great game to play. I'd love to try truffle sometime and compare. I still haven't done them. But yeah, it was just like chill, and I was exhausted and tired, but I was also just kind of enjoying that sensation. Everything I just felt still at peace, not only with, all of the good things in my life, but also with all the bad things in my life. And that was really, really powerful. I watched Princess Mononoke, which is kind of just something to
Cool.
watch to pass the time. Really cool film to watch. And then, yeah, I went to bed and I woke up the next day and I just felt so clear-headed and so like different and like I just experienced something so profound.
Wow.
And
Shit.
yeah, that was my solo trip. Yeah.
That was very poetic. Oh my god. Yeah. Oh my god. That was so beautiful,
cool.
bro. What
That
the
was
fuck?
fucking awesome, dude.
It was.
The
It
way
was
you
amazing. It was a
described
beautiful-
it is like, that's unreal.
Well, I'm glad you had a good
was a
time
beautiful
because I
day.
remember I was checking up on you like maybe twice that day. Be like, "How are you going?" You're like, "Fuck." The messages were like, "Yeah, I'm really good. I'm really good." And then I asked you again how you're holding up, and then you were like, "This is fucking fantastic. Like I can't wait to tell you about this. This is amazing." And I was just like, "Good, good. He's having a good time. He's not seeing demons." And that was
Yeah.
all I was
Oh,
worried
damn.
about is that demons would start coming out of the wall.
No demons, nothing really negative about it at all. Like even I live alone, and that I kind of worried that on the come down I might feel like afraid in my own home, because it's kind
Right.
of easy to get paranoid when you're by yourself. I had felt no paranoia. It was just like
Good.
whatever happens, man. Like I just fucking spoke to God, so I think I'm good for the day, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Holy
so
shit, man.
incredible.
That's really good, dude.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah,
I'm happy for
That's
you.
amazing.
I'm glad that. Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad that I did it. Yeah, it was
So,
fucking awesome.
so would you say
recommend.
that it's changed your perspective on a lot of things? How you outlook life, how you outlook, things in general?
It's interesting because I remember like thinking to myself on the come down, like nothing is the same and yet everything is the same. Like, because what I'd experienced is obviously something abstract and personal to me. My life and all the connections that I've made in my life, they're still exactly the same because no one went through this experience with me. But like definitely my relationship with myself was improved.
Good.
Definitely I like forgave myself for a lot of things. I understood my decision making for a lot of things. I reflected a lot on like my relationship with certain drugs like weed, quite a lot, which I think is part of why after that one bong, like that was almost like my last bong. not ever. I don't want to like set myself up to say I've like quit marijuana or whatever, but it was definitely like, we need to like reassess what we're doing here, because I've definitely smoked a lot of weed over this lockdown period. And to a point where probably I'm doing it to self-medicate. I'm probably doing it to like avoid, confronting certain things. So it was a good like look in the mirror for that. And yeah, a whole bunch of other personal things, which I won't talk about, but a lot of realizations for sure. So
Wow.
Yep, definitely therapeutic. Definitely understand what they're talking about when they say they're using psilocybin for therapy for addiction or depression or any of that sort of thing. Like it's I could see how an experience like that could change you and really give you some insight if you're willing to look at yourself. Dude, I think a lot of people might have bad trips because they're afraid to look at something they might not like about themselves or something
they're afraid to lose
understand.
Control.
Yeah, exactly. But I went into it willing to get fucked, like willing to get shattered. Yeah. So, yeah.
I don't think I could have a good experience on psychedelics, at least at this stage in my life, just because like the reason I didn't have fun on acid was because, and it's also the reason why I don't smoke weed and the reason why I don't drink is because I hate the lack of control, the feeling of being slightly out of control. I can't give up control. I am totally happy to give up control of what's happening in my life, but when it comes to what I'm doing and like my own body and stuff, I'm like, no, I need to be in control of everything.
That's so interesting.
I feel the same way.
I'm like the opposite.
Similar.
I feel like I'm the opposite because I feel like I like control in my day-to-day life, but I often will like take substances to lose control because I like that feeling. I like seeing. Yeah. I don't know.
I mean,
like,
that's the thing. A lot of people will drink or smoke weed because like it'll make them more confident or more comfortable and stuff like that. And then there's people on my side where it's like, no, that doesn't make me more confident or comfortable. It actually makes me way less confident and way more uncomfortable.
Yeah, because you're unsure of your footing and what's going on, and yeah, that's absolutely fine. Yeah, psychedelics are not for everyone.
No,
you can definitely like analyze your own mental state and like even your family history for
if you have
things
schizophrenia,
like, 100%,
anything like that, make sure you do not take that. It could put you in a psychosis.
Be super careful. Yeah, but yeah, like if you feel like it's something that you're into or that you want to confront things about yourself, I'd recommend it. But if it's your first time, I'd recommend doing it with someone else or at least having a sitter, and obviously starting with that low dose. Like you don't want to, because you can get railed by these things. Like I've heard stories of people just. What was that story you told of that your mate in college who turned into a cube?
Oh yeah, my friend, my best friend and roommate. He took an eighth, so he had 3.5 grams. And I'm sitting there editing a YouTube video, and the guy just walks across the dorm, and he's looking at me, he's staring at me, and I'm sitting down. And I look up at him, and I'm like, hey, like, what's going on? And he looks down at me, and then he sits down on the floor, crisscross applesauce, and he looks up at me, and he goes like this, and he pulls his shirt out, and he puts it over his head like this, and he's looking down into his shirt, and he goes, dude, I'm a fucking cube. I was like, what? What did you say? Like, lift up my headphone. I'm like, what did you say? He goes, I'm a cube. Dude, I'm a cube, dude. And I was like, what are you talking about? And then he looks at me. He puts his head out of his shirt and he looks up at me and he goes, oh, now it's just like we're just talking and it's normal.
Interesting.
And then he does it again and he goes, oh my God, it's happening again. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean you're turning into a cube? And he goes, I have 6 sides. I'm solid. No, wait, I'm hollow. No, I'm solid. I go, look at me, dude. Just look at me. And he looks at me and goes, and now I'm back to normal. And now we're just talking. And then he'd do it again. He'd go, I'm a cube. I'd be like, all right, dude, I'm trying to edit a Counter-Strike Surf video. This is amazing.
Yeah, honestly, that doesn't sound like the worst experience. It sounds like fun being a cube.
Yeah,
but you can have some fucking traumatizing.
What would a bad experience
times.
look like? Like a really bad.
I'd say a really bad experience would be if you're in like an uncomfortable setting, like with a lot of people around, maybe that you don't know, or maybe you're with people that like you don't get along with, or something like that, and you're just like, I don't know, like I guess you're really just confront your environment, and you like your environment is so important, and your mindset's so important that if you're in that environment, you could probably start like. Just getting in negative thought loops, and your brain is sparking and like making all these connections at once. So like that becomes really overwhelming and visually really unpleasant. And
Yeah.
I've never
you
had a
get
bad trip,
and
so I actually don't know
fighting
what it
it,
feels like.
A bad trip is essentially a panic attack, except while you're
shit.
tripping. And a panic attack feels like you're fucking dying. So when
Yeah,
you have a
fuck
panic
that.
attack on acid or shrooms, it feels even worse than dying. It feels
Yep.
horrible. It feels horrible.
Which is why it like pays to kind of, I guess, have a mantra in your head that like I'm on shrooms. I know shrooms are safe. I know I won't die. I'm not going to die. Like, or whatever it is that comforts you or brings you back to reality to remember, oh, I took a substance. That's why I'm feeling funny. And you just kind of have to let yourself go with what you're doing. Like you can't.
That's
if you
what I
start
had to do when
resisting
I
it,
was
then
puking.
you start
'Cause I
feeling
was,
uncomfortable.
I was a step away from fucking freaking out and being like, I don't want to do this. I felt like crying at one point. Like I was so overwhelmed. And I was like, why do I even feel like crying? Like, what am I grieving for? Like, I took shrooms. I'm already an hour into the trip. I have another hour and a half to go before like this hurdle is cleared. And like, I'm feeling better. So why do I even have to freak out? What am I going to freak out for an hour until I feel better? Do I really need a back pat? Do I really need like people to reassure me? I'm going to be fucking fine. So let me listen to Cam play music and let me just trip out a little and go comatose on the couch and shake and seize, and then boom, I can dance. And then I was good.
Yeah.
You know,
and
so
you were free.
Yeah, I was free. I was free of the bullshit and the anxiety.
Yeah.
But yeah, puking
that's
on.
what
I wouldn't
it's all
recommend
about.
puking on shrooms, man. That was really rough. That was really
You said
rough.
you said you kind of enjoyed the visuals though, right? Like, weren't they interesting to look at? Or
Yeah,
was it
but
just
also
completely
really over. I
overwhelming?
mean, dude, they made me dizzy.
Yeah.
They made me want to vomit because
bet.
it was spinning. It was like closing my eyes and then the world is spinning around me. It was insane. I couldn't keep my
Jesus.
head
Wow.
like straight. It was just going like this. I was rolling my neck.
Bobblehead soul.
I noticed
Yeah, it's-
when like ages ago that when we did that first one, that not knowing the difference between what was real and what was like a visual was stressful to me.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right, like like it's you don't know what reality is anymore.
Yeah, and you
Like,
don't
we're
know
in a
if
new
what you're
reality.
looking at is like a real thing and what everyone else is seeing, or if it's completely different. Like
Yeah.
I
It's like
remember,
when-
I distinctly remember watching a music video with someone that was sober at the time, and being like, I don't understand this music video. Like, why is that person a zombie? And then the person beside me was like, they're not. That's just a normal person. And
But
it was
that.
just like knowing that
Yeah.
I couldn't tell the difference between reality and visual was like weird and stressful to me.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, well, one thing me and Swagger did was we watched this guy this guy take 2 tabs of acid in the woods. He just recorded himself taking
No, it was 3. It was 3.
3.
Yeah,
so
he
he's
was
like
fucked.
fucked, and we were just like laughing at this guy, not only because he was going through a kind of hilarious experience, but also like his head was just warping and shit.
Yeah,
like
it
his
was
head was
like
like 1 minute like
moving
really
and, like,
big and
bulbing
like
and
what the
stretching
fuck?
and fucking shaking, and like the background was undulating, and like me and Cam were sitting there going like, "Is this shit edited? Like, do you see that shit move?" And
had
he's
to
like,
be.
"Yeah, I see it move." And we asked her trip sitter, we were like, "Do you see it move?" And she's like, "No, it's completely still." And I was like, "Are you sure?" And she's like, "Yeah, you're just a fucking idiot." I was like, "Oh, I'm just on
Yeah.
drugs."
I do remember you guys saying the first time that it was almost like the people on the acid were on the exact same wavelength,
Yeah.
whereas the people that weren't on it
Yeah,
were on a completely
they wouldn't
different
understand.
one.
They had no
And it
understanding.
seems like it's so interesting that 2 people can be on something that is like mind altering, but experience such similar things.
That is interesting.
I would say I didn't feel as intense of a connection of like wavelength between me and Swagger when we did shrooms as opposed to acid. Like
Yeah.
acid, we really felt like we were a unit. Like we were like a
All of us,
thing.
yeah.
Whereas this was more like, oh, we're both just like kind of having fun and like enjoying this time. And I also think like shrooms didn't really. You never feel like you're seeing something that's not there. It's always you're
Yeah.
seeing something that's there, but it's altered, and you're
Yeah.
like experiencing it in a different way. Whether that's like waviness or pulsating or breathing or color or anything. Like it's just kind of accents everything. So
Which one?
hell of a drug, man.
I know they say that one of them feels like you're taking yourself on a journey, and the other one feels like you're being taken on a journey.
Yeah,
You know, like
acid
one
and
feels like
shrooms respectively.
yes.
can't-
Wait, so
people
which
say
one's which though?
People say that with acid, you are in control of your trip,
Okay.
and then when you're on shrooms, the shrooms are in control of your trip, and that's
I'd
what
say
they
that's
say.
true.
But I don't know how scientific that is. You know, I always say like acid is like bzz, 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 and then shrooms is like woo, woo, woo. Like, and that's it's unscientific,
Yeah, acid is like
but it makes sense.
Scientific
right?
Acid is
description.
yeah. Acid's it's just like you're like, oh, let's go over here. Oh no, wait, you're kind of like scattered
Yeah.
and definitely out of control and in some sense. But then I guess you're also making all the decisions actively and also with the group you're with. Like when we were on acid, it was like, yo, smell this lemon. Yo, let's like feel this water in the sink. Like you're deciding what to do.
Let's baptize
but you're
everyone.
also like obviously overwhelmed. With shrooms, I especially on my solo trip, I was completely in the hands of these little mushrooms, man. Like they were just doing whatever they wanted with me. And I was just like,
Wow.
like, yeah, just literally following just like some trail of that some higher thing had like wanted me to do. Like that's what it felt like.
Interesting.
Especially when I was up on that roof, man, like in that moment of peace, that was like, I've never felt peace like that in my life. Like probably since I was a baby. Like that's really how it felt. Shit was crazy. So
Shit,
man.
dude.
That's really cool.
It is.
yeah. So yeah, I mean those are the two little shroom stories.
It's so
of
interesting
late.
that they were very
Finally.
different. Fun,
Yeah.
very different.
Yeah, well, I definitely took more on my own, and also being alone is that's different too. Like it's not about anyone but yourself,
Right.
You know, like it's your experience, it's your trip. You don't have to worry about like what does the trip sitter think of me or like what. There's no like,
social
even moments of
element.
social anxiety.
Yeah.
There's no is Swagger okay? Like and also for Swagger's when I was a guest in his home,
Yeah.
which I remember like
You
kind of
kept
getting
asking
anxious
me
about at the
like, oh, I
beginning.
hope you're okay with me like being here, and I hope like
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I love it when you're here.
Yeah.
Like it's good. Like I love having you over. Stop tripping.
Yeah.
You know.
Just instantly
Yeah,
stop.
so I-
Yeah. And so he's
Fitz-
like sober.
Yeah.
Oh.
Imagine if I took it that one time that I was going to come down and visit you in Wellington and do it then.
You had that old bag, right?
That would've-
You had those. They were kind of moldy though, right?
I don't know what it was. No,
Or
they were moldy eventually because of how long I had them for. That was like a bag like this big. Like that was an enormous bag of them.
What the fuck?
And it would have been a bad time. Like, the person I was with, it wouldn't have been the right person to do it with, and like I would not have been in the same headspace. Like at that point, I did not know myself at all.
Yeah.
God
Yeah.
damn.
That's insane, man. What a stories.
Yeah. Right.
What a stories.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, so guys, I guess that kind of, I mean, unless we want to talk about anything else, it sort of brings this episode to an end.
I think it's a nice little
Nick-
a nice little closure.
Yeah, I agree.
It's really cool.
Guys, if you're
It's not as cool
gonna
as when I
trip,
made
make-
sauteed mushrooms, but like it's
fucking Jay's actually becoming Gordon Ramsay. He's been updating me.
yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
That's my life up then.
Good.
Yeah, guys, if you're gonna trip, make sure you're safe. Make sure you don't do too much and that you're in the right headspace and in the right setting.
This was
Speak good to
sponsored
yourselves.
by Gamersubs.gg. If you want to be really good to yourself, go to Gamersubs.gg and use code Misfits for 10% off. It is very good. Keep you energized while you're
Parent
tripping.
podcast.
I actually wouldn't recommend mixing caffeine with that.
Probably not a good
so
idea.
You'll be
Not
fine.
too much. Not too
You know,
much.
but Gamersubs. Go for
Gamer
it.
subs, guys. We love 'em, and we love you.
Gamersubs.gg
Gamer subs.
and
Cool, guys. Hope you
Spotify.
enjoyed listening.
And Spotify.
And Spotify. We love Spotify. Guys, thanks for listening. Love you. Hope you're staying well, staying safe, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.